Hey y'all, it is Naomi with Niños in Nature here, and I am so excited to show you how to make your very own DIY felted trees. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you remember that a few weeks back, I showed you how to make these super cute needle felted trees, right? I had a tutorial. We stabbed this little tree for almost an hour, and we still got this nice, soft, squishy texture, which is totally fine. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I wanted to find a way to make those really classic, hard shaped, right? Like the kind of conical shaped felted trees that I've seen all over the internet. Well, would you believe that I figured it out? And I'm really excited to show you how to make your own DIY felted trees, and you have no idea how easy it is. Let me show you how. Okay, let's look at everything that you need. Now, you will need some type of core wool. Remember, whenever you're doing any type of felting, you want it to be 100% wool. This is just white wool batting that I have for doll making and needle felting and all of that. So you want to have white or just a color that you don't like, right? Like if you get a kit and you get this like puke green, use that on the inside. Why not? Okay, so you have your base color wool. This is gonna go inside the tree. And then you wanna have a color that you're gonna wrap it in, right? So it's autumn right now where I live. And so I'm gonna do some with this really pretty yellow and orange. You also will need a felting needle. And that is just, oh look, I grabbed my broken one. I'm leaving it so you can see that this is real life. A felting needle, just so you can secure it and get everything all together before you do the secret step. You will need some type of string. This is just plain cotton string, right? I use it with doll making, but it works great for this too. And you need a pair of tights. You can use pantyhose, you can use fancy tights. These are just some tights. This is the only pair of tights that I had, and I'm sacrificing it for this craft, so I hope I don't need them down the line. So that is everything that you will need, and now let me show you how easy this is. You're not gonna believe it. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is to take your base wool. And you are going to want to do this as tightly as you can. And I will show you at the end of this video a mistake that will happen if you don't do this tightly enough. Okay, so let's save ourselves some time and we'll wrap it nice and tight. So around 2 or 3 fingers, you're gonna start wrapping some wool. Yeah? And then you're gonna grab even more. We're gonna do this for a little while. I'm gonna take it off my fingers, and then I'm gonna take some more wool and I'm gonna wrap it around going in the other direction. So we are going to just keep wrapping wool. You can do it in strips, you can do it just in clumps like I'm doing, and you're alternating directions and you're wrapping it around. Now, if you want to do it for a bigger tree, right? Like if you want to make it maybe not this size, but similar, then we're going to go for a pretty big shape because it is going to shrink up as we do this process. So if you make it about a softball size, that's for a smaller tree. So I'm going to make it like the size of a big grapefruit. So you can see now I'm starting to get a little bit fluffier, so I need to remind myself, okay, wrap it tighter, wrap it tightly. And when you wrap it in the color that you're gonna do, that's a time when you can really make it nice and tight too. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make this big, right? I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna use a lot of this. It's nice because this is usually the cheaper wool, so it doesn't matter if you use a lot of it on the inside. I'm not done yet. So right now, this is about the size of a softball. I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna keep going. More wool. And look, unlike my other tutorial, I haven't stabbed myself in the finger yet. You guys, this is a winning one. This is a winning craft. Okay, so this looks like a big softball, but I'm gonna add more wool to that. So I always like to do the brighter color underneath the darker color, so the brighter color is just peeking out. So I have this yellow, and I'm gonna pull it off into strips, and I'm actually gonna open it up just a little bit, and I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna wrap it. And you're like, that looks like shit. I'm like, I know, trust me. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna do our yellow first, and you could do it all in one color if you wanted to. You don't have to do it in all of these colors. But I'm gonna keep adding my colors. Okay, so I'm getting into my orange, and again, I'm wrapping it tightly. So you don't want to have a lot of white showing, right? You want to try and cover up all of the white. And so at this point, if you're not wrapping, right, like I'm not wrapping it, I'm kind of just like putting on top, that's fine because we're going to use our felting tool to kind of secure it down. And it's pretty tight at this point. I've wrapped it pretty well. You can see I'm ripping it off into strips. That's because I don't want one big chunk in one spot and then I don't want to have any bald spots. So I'm trying to spread the love with my felt. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going and I'll come back when this is all wrapped. Okay, I feel like we should acknowledge the fact that you're looking at me like, girl, you have lost your mind. This looks like a piece of hot. And I'm gonna be like, I know, it looks awful, especially because I started just kind of like globbing the orange on and all of that. But this is where I take my needle and I'm just securing it. I am not gonna spend the next hour doing this. I'm gonna do a couple minutes securing this colored felt onto the white felt. And this is when I can make sure that everything is nice and tight, and also when I can cover up these spots. And I can cover it up by finding a thick piece of felt. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's all the yellow. And I'm going to spread it out, okay? So I'm going to spend the next few minutes just using a needle and just going around in a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just making it so that it's secure. I don't want it to come undone. You don't need to be an expert at needle felting to do this. This is a perfect beginner project. Literally all you're doing is poking this ball. And it doesn't even need to be that secure, right? I'm really just making sure that all of the white spots are covered up. And I can use my needle to kind of bring the felt over, or you can use your hand. I haven't stabbed myself yet. Winning! Maybe you won't stab yourself. One day we're going to be really good at needle felting and we're going to look back on these videos and be like, how was she teaching us anything? Okay, we're almost there. Do you see any white spots? I think it looks pretty good. Okay, and you're terrified now because I'm like, this looks pretty good. And you're like, but this is again where I'm saying, yeah, trust me. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a beautiful tree. I promise. I'm seeing some white spots still, so I'm going to keep going just a little bit. You don't want anything peeking through, even though we can fix it. If that happens, easy fix. Don't worry. Okay, so I have secured almost everything. I've covered up most of the white spots, right? Like everything looks pretty good. Now I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you making? It's going to get even worse. You're going to doubt me even more. So now you're going to take your tights, right? And you can do a bunch of trees at once. So maybe do a test one, get your size right, and then you can do like 15 trees. So put your hand all the way in and then grab around your little tree ball thing that you just made and pull it through all the way to the end, okay? And this is pretty much, look, you can see there's fuzz because I've done this already. So you will have some wool, right? Like I'm not going to be able to use these tights again. So only use tights that you're okay with if they bite the dust and become crafting tights. So this is probably the size that it'll be when it's all done. So you've got this like thing and you're going to take some cotton string, right? And you're going to push it down towards the end and then wrap it. See if I can do this. Tie it tight, okay? You don't want it to move, so tie it nice and tight. And then This is the surprise. But I'm going to make a couple more. So I'm going to make a couple more and fill this up, and then I'll show you what you do next. Okay, so I have 3 of them ready. So I'm going to stuff this last one in, and you'll notice that I'm putting them like one right on top of the other. So literally you could see, like I could fill this up. This is like a ridiculous little caterpillar. Okay, so I'm going to push them. I push them all down so that they're close. I'm going to tie this one off, and then we are going to put them in the washing machine. So here's the deal. You're going to put it on the in your washing machine. I have a front loader. I don't know anything about washing machines or like what type of washing machine you need. I would say just go for it. If you have one with this spinny thing in the middle, maybe like put this in a bag so that it doesn't wrap all around it 1,000 times. I don't know. Disclaimer, I'm not responsible if you break your washing machine. Should be fine. Okay, so you are going to put this in the washing machine on high, hot heat. I did a speed wash, which is about 25 minutes, hot heat. And I actually did that twice, right? So it took about 40 minutes for mine to become nice and hard, right? Just the way we want them for these felted trees. So you experiment. I suggest starting with a speed wash, right? A short one or a quick wash on high heat, hot heat with water, and then see what happens. So I'm gonna go pop this in the washing machine and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, so I just pulled these out of the washing machine. I am sticking with my 2 quick washes. There's something I like about checking after 20 minutes and making sure that they haven't gone too far, that they're still good. So that's how I'm doing it. You could go full speed ahead and do one full, like 45-minute wash all on hot water if you wanted to. I personally prefer 2 speed or quick washes. Okay, here it is. It's time for the big reveal. So what you want to do is you want to be able to use these tights again, right? So I'm not going to just like cut my tights. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have those kind of tights. So I'm going to sneak some scissors under that string that I tied and cut this string off. You're going to do this one at a time. And you will notice that it might felt to your tights, right? So you are going to slowly extract it, right? So you're going to stick your hand in, pull the tights back, and then just slowly pull it back. It's like the big reveal. And you're like, this still looks like shit. And I'm like, trust me, I promise. So what you will notice is, 1, I have a lot of white right here. So I'm going to think of this and make this the base. And we're like, this isn't the shape we're going for. That's fine. I want it to be kind of conical. So since they just came out of the water, out of the washing machine, they're actually still a little bit wet. So we can mold them. You can see even just by squeezing it like that, it's starting to take shape, right? So this is what you're going to do with all of them. You don't need to like tie them in a certain way. Even just squeezing them for a little bit, like a few seconds, is enough. So I'm going to call it good. I'm going to say, I like this shape. I'm not going to do anything about the extra fuzzies on it or anything like that. I'm going to say, this looks great. I'm going to let it go to bed. I'm going to come back to it tomorrow. You're going to let these dry overnight. And now you have to let all of your other ones come out. This is like the big reveal, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to carefully slip the scissors under. And we'll see what this one looks like. And it's always kind of nerve-wracking. You're like, ooh, especially because I do color mixing. If you want to just do one color, then it'll look pretty much the same, right? There's not going to be any of this like, what's it going to look like? But I like to live dangerously. So again, you want to live dangerously with felted trees. You want to slowly pull it out. You can see that it's felted. Oh, I love the color of this one. So pull it slowly, slowly. I don't want to rip my tights. I don't want to rip my tree. This one looks awesome. Okay, so you're going to find your base. I'm going to say that that's going to be the base, and I'm going to just go around it, right? And squeeze it as I go. These are gonna be so cute. And you can make them like more round, right? If you want it to be more round, just roll it in your hand a little bit. I like the idea of it being like a little cone at the top. Okay. Flatten the base a little bit just by pressing on your palm. All right, good night. Putting that one to bed. And now this is the one that y'all watched me make. This is the biggest one that I made, so it's gonna be for a nice big tree base. So we will see how it looks. So I'm gonna cut it free, or try to cut it free. It's resisting, it's okay. You can see I might need to take a break from these tights or use the other leg, right? If you're getting too much felt, too much wool build up. Okay, this is the big reveal. This one is really felted to the tights. Oh my gosh, it looks awesome. It's so autumnal. Okay, and I will show you how to handle all of these little fibers that are kind of coming off, right? So don't worry about that. But go slow because I'm not trying to pull it all off. Okay, so I can see already, right, there's some white there. So I want to make that the base. So find like your ugly side, we've all got one, and make that the base of your tree. But this one is going to be awesome. Again, I'm going to shape it, flatten the base a little bit, and then I'm going to put it to bed, right? 24 hours, let them dry, and I will show you how to attach it to your base next. Hey y'all, we are back making our DIY felted trees. It is the next day, aka a week later in my calendar. You can totally do this the next day, but I got caught up with other stuff, so here I am, and I cannot tell a lie. So we have our little felted tufts, right? And I said I would show you, sometimes what you might have is like, if you didn't wrap it quite tightly enough, you'll see like a little cracking right there. That is fixed with just taking a felting needle and going all around it and bringing it all nice and close together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach it to our base. So you wanna find a nice branch, at least I would say an inch in circumference, right? An inch around, so that it'll stand up really well. You also want to make sure that it's not going to be too top heavy. So don't choose this huge tuft on a little tiny tree. This looks like it'll be a nice combo. So I am going to take a hot glue gun and go all around the base, right along the outside, right in the middle, but really nice all along the edge. And then I'm going to take my little tuft and I'm going to just press it on. And what you might need to do after is just go around it once more, around the very edge, just to make sure that you don't have any loose spots. But once it's on there, the fibers adhere pretty well to the glue. And there you have it. How cute is that little felted tree? So I'm going to make a couple more and I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. There we have it, our felted trees. They are super cute. They cost us next to nothing, right? I found these branches outside in the woods. This is just some wool, and it just took a little bit of time, but not too much actually, and some work from a washing machine. So my friends, I hope that you feel confident and ready to make your own little felted trees. Your kiddos will love them. They make awesome gifts for birthday parties, for holidays, and they come with lots of love too, right? So stay tuned, I'll have a lot more videos for you teaching you how to make your very own special gifts and toys right in your own house, and I can't wait to teach you more next time. Thanks for being with me. Ciao!